Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode here in NHL 23. So I am pre-recording this episode, but in last episode, if you didn't catch it, we ended up making the playoffs. We didn't make any changes to the roster, and I'd say it's a pretty successful year for this young team. A lot of positives definitely to take away, including the emergence of our younger guys, kind of like Kultanen, who had 60 points this year. Vance had a pretty solid rookie campaign with 52 points, but 32 goals. So hopefully he continues to do that in the playoffs. Also, Pedersen was pretty good, 48 points in 80 games, over 50% on the faceoff dot. Zari, Nazar, Lambert, like a lot of them kind of broke out. Also Korchinski a bit too. Like I am impressed with a lot of the younger guys on this roster, and it should be interesting to see what they could do in the playoffs. Obviously, it doesn't matter too much if we lose in the first round, but and some good experience for the young guys nonetheless. Also, both of our goaltenders were actually insane in the regular season. It combined 9 shutouts between the two of them, so that might be the best tandem in the entire league in terms of shutouts at least. So should be interesting to see what this team could do against the Dallas Stars. Now, Dallas is a team that I don't know how they made the playoffs, but as you can see, they gave up more goals than they scored. They allowed 9 more goals, or 11 more goals. Yeah, 11 more goals. I could do math. 11 more goals than they scored in the regular season, but they managed to somehow make the playoffs. So I feel like we're going to get cheese somehow. They finished 41, 29, and 12. We finished 47, 27, and 8. Like, I feel like for some weird reason we're just going to get slapped because Dallas actually has a pretty good looking roster and somehow they had that bad of a season. But if that is the case, at least these young guys on our roster are going to get some experience. But I still hope that our team can just do as good as possible, and hopefully our young guys could produce and whatnot, just to show that we actually belong in a playoff situation in the next few seasons. Because obviously we might take a step back this off season by getting rid of guys like Fiala and all that type of thing. So it's going to be pretty much up in the air at that stage. But you can see this Dallas Stars team is pretty damn deep when you have like guys like Jonathan Drouin on the 4th line. Like, that is a really solid forward core. Obviously, there's a lot of veterans that could be dropping off there, so they're kind of running out of a window to probably win a Stanley Cup, because Niederreiter's 33, Atkinson's 36, Sagan's 34, Marchman's 31, Olsen's 30, and then, like, yeah, even Rupe Hintz is 29, and Bunting's 30, Jonathan Drouin is 31. Like, it's a pretty old roster for the most part. The defensive core is young. A lot of these guys are all, like, 27 and younger, except for DeMello. And then obviously goalie-wise, they have Jake Ottinger still, and Jake Ottinger's a really good goaltender. So it's a pretty damn good team, and I am definitely a little bit scared to face them in the first round, even though they did have a pretty terrible regular season, it seems like. So anyways, let's get into this first ever playoff game in the series. Not the first ever playoff game that Chicago has had, obviously, but it's good to be back in the playoffs and get at least some experience for these young guys, I'd say, even if we end up getting swept. I think it would be good just to get a few games in the playoffs, and hopefully our young guys could score a few goals just to get themselves some confidence in terms of scoring at the biggest stage in the NHL, pretty much. So anyways, let's get into game number 1 and see what happens. We have home ice advantage, obviously, so we'll hopefully use that to our advantage. So first period of game number 1. And the score is 1-0 Dallas. So Thomas Harley beats Comesso. Like I was saying in last episode, we might change between Comesso and Gustafsson, because Comesso is obviously playing in his first ever playoff appearance. Gustafsson would be as well, I think. But both goalies had really good seasons, so we could honestly turn to another one if one of them is not doing too well. But I'd say that's a pretty good opening period still, only allowing 1 goal on 11 shots. Not too bad from Comesso there. We had no goals on 14 shots, so at least we're getting opportunities, it looks like, but we need to find definitely a way to score on Jake Ottinger if we can. Second period, 2-0 Dallas. This ain't good. Jason Robertson scores short-handed. We are outshooting 25-16, so they only had like 5 shots in that period, and one of them was a goal. Yeah, that's not good. I feel like this might be one of those series where you get swept and you barely score a single goal in it, just based on how this first game is going. Like, I have seen sim engine games like that a lot of times. So let's just see if we could get anything going in the third period and going into next game. Power play opportunity, come on, boys. 5-on-3, and we do not convert. Hey, there you go. Asher Vance scores his first ever playoff goal, and the first playoff goal of the series, and then Oscar Olesen, of all people, on the 4th line ties the game up. Okay. This is a pretty good third period there. I thought it was going to be tougher to beat Ottinger, but it took us all the way to the third period. We're outshooting him 40-20. Asher Vance has started the comeback, so maybe Vance is a future captain of this team, to be honest, because it seems like he's sparking the team with that goal. 2 goals in just over a minute, it looks like. Yeah, just over a minute. Let's see what happens in overtime. See if we could take game 1 and come back from a 2-0 deficit. Come on, boys. Hey, yes we can, and it's Asher Vance. Let's go. Asher Vance might honestly be like a cheat code in this game with how good this guy is. He had 2 goals in his playoff debut now. He had 32 goals in the regular season, and we win game 1 against the Dallas Stars despite falling down 2-0. We rally back in the third and win that game. So Vance from Byfield, Olsen from Khrushchev, and Vance from Lambert and Byfield. Yeah, I like Asher Vance already. I could tell this guy's going to be something special. He had 7 shots on goal in his first ever playoff game as well. Like, this guy just throws everything to the net. Kind of like Brady Tkachuk in a sense, but he's better at scoring. 2 goals on 7 shots, 2 hits. His face-off number is 57%. Like, I love to see that. And Comesso had a pretty solid first playoff game, despite allowing the first 2 goals of the game. So Vance first star, Byfield second star, and Oscar Olsen the third. So we have a 1-0 series lead. Can we continue that momentum into the next game? And can Asher Vance continue scoring goals? Because 2 goals in your first ever playoff game is pretty good. Like I said, he had 32 goals in the regular season, and I believe he had a couple in the preseason. I didn't really take a look at his preseason stats, but should be interesting to see how this guy continues to develop, because this is his first ever season, right? So imagine what he does when he gets to like a 96 overall or something like that. Since he's got that high elite potential, I feel like he could honestly turn franchise after 1 year in the NHL only. So we'll see what happens with that. But anyways, game number 2, still on home ice. Let's see if we can take that 2-0 series lead over to Dallas. First period of game 2, and it's 1-1. I will take that. Olofsson scores and then Brad Lambert scores, so at least our top line is continuing to produce, but it is a 1-1 game after 1. Shots are 10-9 in favor of the Dallas Stars, but it's a 1-1 game, so pretty even period for the most part. Can we take the lead in the second? And for some reason it says 20:09. I don't know why it says that, but second period, 2-1 us. Let's go, and it's Asher Vance. Man, I like this guy already. This guy already might make the Channel Hall of Fame if he continues his career like this, because unless he just randomly busts after 1 year, but this guy is seeming like he's going to be a good playoff player as well. 3 goals in his first 2 playoff games, and we have a 2-1 lead going into the third. Shots are 21-19 in our favor as well. Let's go real-time simulation and see what happens, see if we could lock this one down. Manson makes it 3-1. Let's go, Josh. Power play opportunity, we do not convert, but that's okay because we still got a 2-goal advantage at least. So this team is looking pretty good actually in this first round. Kind of surprised by that as Sagan gets a power play goal to make it 3-2. It's a bit close now. Final few minutes here of game 2. And we are going to lock it down by 1 goal. Final shots were 30-28, and we managed to win game number 2. And we have a 2-0 series lead. Headed to Dallas. Pretty close to first 2 games. So Lambert from Korchinski and Vance from Girard and Byfield, and Manson from Pettersson and Fiala. So Vance with back-to-back multi-point games in his first ever playoff performances. So he's got 4 points in 2 games. Comesso the second star, and Manson the third star with the game-winning goal. I know his father Dave would be proud of him to win a Stanley Cup maybe with Chicago, but I don't think we're going to be holding on to him after the season. So there you go. We're up 2-0 on the Dallas Stars. Can we win games on the road is the question. I should take this a little bit slow considering this episode's going by kind of quick. Vance has definitely been our best player so far in the playoffs. I don't want to take a look at the rest of the player stats yet, but it's good to see that he's been producing here in the playoffs so far. This kid is definitely the real deal, I think. Let's see what happens in game 3. We shift over to Dallas. Let's see if we can win some games on the road as well in the playoffs. And let's see if it'll be another 1-goal game only, because that's been like that for the first 2 games. First period of game 3. And it is 2-1 Dallas. Not too great. Heiskanen scores on the power play. Byfield scores, so our top line is still doing really well. And then, of course, my favorite player, Cam Atkinson, has given Dallas the lead. Shots are 13-8 in favor of Dallas going into the second period. Can we get this game tied back up going into the third? Second period. 3-2, I guess I'll take it. Druin made it 3-1. Byfield scores another goal, so our top line is definitely our main source of offense so far here in this first round, and we're only down by a goal. Can we find a way to tie this game up? We are being outshot 25-18. Every game so far has been a 3-2 game, so hopefully Dallas can't lock this game down, and hopefully we can find a way to tie it up and at least force an overtime. So come on, boys. Vance has no goals so far, but he might have 2 assists because of those Byfield goals. Power play opportunity, and there is Lucas Reichel. Let's go, Reichel. Power play goal, nicely done, but Nils Lundqvist answers right back. We get a power play of our own afterwards, but we do not convert. Come on, boys. Power play here late in the game. We do not convert again. Final few minutes, and Dallas gets the empty netter as Nils Lundqvist picks up his second, and we lose 5-3 in Game 3. So this might be a pretty close series, the way it's trending. That's unfortunate. So Byfield from Kurashev, Byfield from Lambert and Vance, Reichel from Holton and Pedersen, and that was it. Of course, Cam Atkinson had 4 points. Of course, or 3 points, I should say. But Vance continued his point streak. That's nice to see. Byfield had 2 goals. That's good. Any really badly minus players in that game? Our top line was minus, but Pedersen and Girard were -2. How was the face-off numbers? Pedersen was really good. Zara is good. Vance was not that great on the face-off dot in that one. 3 stars of the game: Lundqvist, Atkinson, and Byfield. I don't know if we should make any line adjustments after that game or not. We've allowed how many goals in our first 3 games? We've allowed 9 goals, so we're averaging like 3 goals against per game, which is not terrible. But I think I'm going to turn to Gustafsson already because maybe Comesso's just not ready to play consistently in the playoffs yet. So let's give Gustafsson a chance. Gustafsson was fantastic in the regular season, so we'll give him an opportunity in the next game. And we'll keep probably our rest of our team the exact same just because I honestly don't care if we are out in the first round. But I obviously want to get a lot of the younger guys as much experience as possible. So Vance has 5 points in 3 games. Love to see it. He's definitely going to lead this team in points year in and year out, I think, at some stage. He just has to find the right teammates to play with, because right now his line mates are pretty good, I'd say, but they aren't the ones that he's probably going to be sticking with for most of his NHL career. So here we go. Game number 4 in Dallas. Let's see what Gustafsson could do and see if we could take a 3-1 stranglehold on Dallas, or are they going to tie the series at 2 apiece. First period. 1-0 us. I will definitely take that. Brad Lambert scores, so once again that's the top line, unless it was mid-line change or something like that, but still Brad Lambert scores. Good to see him scoring, considering he's a playmaker, I think. Shots are 16-10 in favor of us after 1. Can we add to this lead in the second period? 2-0. Let's go. Oscar Olofsson scores on Jake Ottinger. Shots are 25-24, so pretty close in the shot chart. And for some reason this clock says 2011 now instead of 29 or whatever it was before. I don't even know why it does that, but real-time simulation for this third period. Let's see if we could lock this one down. Gustafsson's been pretty strong here in his playoff debut with us. He might get the start next game, or I might go back to Comesso because maybe Comesso just needed 1 day off, and Vance scores again to continue his point streak to 4 games. What a beast. What a beast. He might have assisted on the Lambert goal as well, so we'll have to take a look at that. Bunting breaks Gustafsson shutout late, of course he does. And we are going to win 3-1, and we have a 3-1 lead as well in the series. They have a shot us 39-37, but Gustafsson did really, really well. So Lambert from Reichel and Girard, Olofsson from Girard, and Vance from Lambert and Byfield. Yeah, that top line's doing really well. 2 assists from Girard, 2 points from Lambert. Nicely done. And let me take a look at some fun stats. Manson had 5 hits. How's the face-off numbers? Reichel was good. Kubalik really took a decent amount of draws. Pedersen and Vance didn't do good on the face-off dot, but we won, so I will take it. And yeah, Gustafsson gets first star in that game, so I think I might have to go back to him again. Lambert the second star with 2 points. And I think it was Bunting the third star, but don't really care about Dallas players that often, or that much. Okay, so we're 1 win away from going to round 2, which is a bit further than I expected. I thought we were going to honestly get knocked out by Dallas, but Dallas could still reverse sweep us, because I feel like, or well, not reverse sweep us, but win 3 straight games against us. I feel like that could happen, so. Gustafson was really good, but I don't know if I should go back to the youngster. I feel like I should go back to the youngster since he deserves a lot of opportunities and whatnot, and he's up to an 85, it says, so. But he's still got a role of backup goaltender, so yeah, we're never going to go to Comesso again. Even though Gustafson played really, really good in that one, let's go to Comesso and see if he can get locked down the series, and if he can't, we'll definitely go back to Gustafson again. But yeah, Gustafson might be a cheat code of a goaltender. He was really good in the regular season, and so far he's been pretty good in the playoffs after one playoff game. So here we go, game number 5. Can we close out the Dallas Stars and head to the second round? Let's see what happens here. First period, 1-1. I will take that. Kubalik scores, so that's good to see the third line scoring. And Nito Niederreiter ties the game up at 1. Shots are 14-8 in favor of us, but it is a 1-1 game. Can we get the lead in the second period? Second period, still 1-1. I guess I'll take that. Shots are 21-21. I'm not 21 Savage, trust me. It's 1-1. Let's just see what happens in this third period, see if we could get the lead. I don't know why this clock keeps glitching out on this, but whatever. Let's see if we can get the lead in this third period here and see if we could win the series, or if we're going to go to another game as Niederreiter scores again, makes it 2-1 for Dallas, and Harley scores. Poor Comesso. Power play opportunity for us to get back in this game. We do not score on it. Yeah, I feel like we're maybe going to drop 3 straight games, to be honest. I don't know why I have that feeling in my stomach. And we lose 3-1, unfortunately, in a game where we could have locked him out. But, yeah, that's not good. And, yeah, the point streak ends for Vance. Kubalik scored from Nazar, and Jones was our only one. 3 stars, Ottinger, Niederreiter, and Kubalik. I'm surprised Kubalik even got a star in that one. Yeah, I think we're going to go back to Gustafson for next game, because Gustafson was really good, and he could probably close out the series and get us to the next round. So he'll definitely be a better odd to win the game, I'd say, over the youngster in Comesso. No offense to Comesso, but we'll go with the better of the 2 goaltenders right now and see if he could lock it down. Comesso dropped down to an 84 after that performance, apparently. So apparently he is riding on some morale thing, I think. Let's see if we could bounce back in the next game. Also, I might make some line adjustments just to see if it helps us out a little bit. Yeah, Byfield's picking up more assists. Vance is scoring more goals. So let's put Vance on the wing, put Byfield back at center. And we'll see if Vance could do better as a left winger on the top line instead of center. And maybe Vance will score some more goals here. Here we go. Game number 6. Looking to close out Dallas, or else we're going to a game 7 on home ice. Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. First period. 3-0 Dallas. Yep, we're definitely losing in 7 games. Nito Niederreiter is all of a sudden going off. He's now got 4 goals in his last 3 periods or 4 periods. He's definitely picking it up. He picks 2 goals in that opening period, and Olofsson scores as well. So we just completely got dominated in that first period. We're definitely showing our youth now. Shots were 15-4 after 1 for Dallas, but we're down 3-0. Can we get anything back in the second period? Second period? It is now 5-0. Okay, never mind. Well, at least, yeah, we're definitely getting knocked out in 7 games, guys. I can honestly feel it. Our team is definitely all of a sudden just turned on the crap jets. Our goaltenders are all of a sudden not doing that good. Like, Gustafson had a really good game, and now all of a sudden he's playing like probably one of his worst games, but we're being badly outshot. Pettersson makes it 6-1. Good to see Pettersson getting on the board at least, because that's, I think, his first goal of the playoffs. So, and unfortunately, we're going to lose 6-1. We only have 2 goals in our last 2 games, and we've given up 9 goals. Yikes. Pettersson from Hultinen and Caleb Jones, so no points again for Vance. At least this is, like I said, it's growing pains for the young guys. It's experience, but also they will understand what it, like, once they lose games in the playoffs, they'll understand what it takes to lose games, and they'll try and figure out what's best to actually make them win games in, like, the future years and all that stuff. Like, it'll give them some confidence when they know how to actually win series and stuff like that. So let's make some line adjustments, though, going into this last game, just to see if we could get ourselves to the next round. But let's put Brad Lambert at center. Yeah, let's put Brad Lambert at center. Why not? Yeah, we'll do that, because Lambert's the passer of the bunch, I think. Yeah, he's got 92 passing, so he should probably always be near Vance. We could always move Byfield down, but Yeah, Yeah, we're going to keep that the same, I think. Yeah, we'll go with that still. Defensively, let's try a little change, maybe. No, maybe not. Let's try Brunstrom with Girard and then move Manson with Korchinski. Just try something random. And we'll go back to Comesso since he's the young guy. That matters more because I don't think Gustafsson's going to come back this next season. Even though he was phenomenal, I don't think he's going to come back because he might want a lot of money and a lot of term. Who knows? Here we go. Real-time simulation for Game 7. Let's see if we can find ourselves in the second round, or are we going to lose 3 straight games to end off this first round? Because that honestly might happen. Come on, boys. Hey, we score first. That's a good sign. Holtinen scores. I believe that's his first goal of the postseason, and Stankoven ties it up on the power play for them, though. And then Quinton Byfield scores. Okay, this might be an offensive game, number 7, at this rate. Zari makes it 3-1. Okay, some guys are scoring that hasn't scored yet. Wayne Johnson makes it 3-2. Yeah, both goalies not too good in this first period. And it's going to be 3-2 for us after 1 period of play. Shots are 15-10 in favor of us, so we scored 3 goals, basically 12 saves only for Aldinger in that first period, and only 8 saves for Comesso in that first period. So, yeah, both goalies not doing too good so far. Let's see what happens in the second period, see if we could get some insurance in this game, because we're only up by 1 goal so far. Come on, boys. Of course, Heiskanen ties the game up, and Druin gives them the lead. Yep, we're definitely losing in this game, I feel like. I don't know why I had it in my pit of my stomach that we were going to lose 3 straight games, but oh well. Like I said, it's an experience for the young guys, so what if we don't get a draft lottery pick? We could always try and move up if we really need to, but down 4-3 going into the third now. Shots are 24-23 in favor of us, but it is still pretty close. Let's see if we could find a way to tie this game up and maybe get to an overtime in Game 7. Come on, boys. Like Asher Vance, you haven't scored in a while, and now he scores, of course. Whenever I call out somebody, they literally score, and then Jason Robertson gives Dallas back the lead, though. But Sam Girard answers back for us. This is such an offensive game right now. Penalty kill, nicely done, boys. Wow. What a game this has been for a Game 7. A lot of offense, and Sagan makes it 6-5, but Vance answers right back at 6-6, and Vance scores the hat-trick in the third period and 7-6, and Jones gets the empty net, and we win 8-6, and we're going to the second round. What the heck just happened? Oh my goodness. We had a 5-goal third period. What the heck? Asher Vance with the hat-trick in the third period. Talk about clutch. He ties the game up here, and then he got us the lead, and then Caleb Jones picks up the empty netter. I wish I would have been able to witness that in-game, because that would have been insane. Shots were 39-36, and we win 8-6 in a crazy Game 7, and we're somehow going to the second round. I don't even know what the heck happened there. So Vance wasn't scoring, but now he had a lot of goals in that third period, and he had a hat-trick already as a 19-year-old, which is impressive as hell. Wow. So Holtinen from Girard, Byfield from Vance, Zari from Nazar, Jones, Vance from Lambert and Byfield, Girard from Olsen, Vance from Byfield, Vance from Lambert and Byfield, and Jones from Byfield. So I think Byfield had like 5 assists in that game as well. Yeah, I think Byfield and Vance literally had maybe a combined 9 points in that game. Yep. Byfield had 1 goal and 4 assists. Vance had 3 goals and an assist. Girard, Jones, and Lambert 2 points each. And then Nazar, Olsen, Holton, and Zari all had 1 point. Wow. Regula and Jones, which is my top 6 pairing, was a +8 combined. I don't even understand this at all, but okay. And yeah, Comesso was absolutely tragic in that game, but he won the game. And then if you go to Dallas's stats, they had guys that were +3 and a lot of guys that were -3. And then Ottinger was absolutely horrific, an 816 save percentage. God damn. Look at that stat line from Vance. First star of the game because of that third period hat trick. Byfield getting the second star and Jones the third star. Wow. So literally Vance still literally might be the next Justin Williams with that type of performance in a Game 7. Take a look at the other stats as well, like the hits for that game. Vance had 5 hits as well, okay. He was pretty physical. Only took 1 faceoff because we put him on the wing, that's right. But Zari was winning faceoffs, Reichel, Pedersen, and Lambert. Well, Lambert wasn't winning faceoffs, but he had 2 assists, so maybe Lambert in the middle is the right thing to do, at least for Vance. Interesting. So we win a crazy game 7, and now we're going to go into round 2, which I honestly have no idea what we're going to do in round 2, because this team was kind of back and forth in terms of winning and losing. But I feel that 11 points in 7 games. Obviously, he just had the 5-point game, though, so that really helps. Let's take a look at our team stats after that first round, before we see also who we play in the second round, because I am curious on our goals for and all that type of thing. Let's see. We scored 3.14 goals per game. We gave up 3.57, so we allowed more goals than we scored, but we got to the second round. So I think we just did exactly what the Winnipeg Jets did basically in my my Draft to Glory series, which means we're going to lose in 7 games in the second round. That's my guess. We only were 5% on the power play, which is not good at all. 72.2% on the penalty kill. Damn, we were tragic in a lot of areas. But we got to the next round, so there it is. Let's take a look at those player stats. So, yeah, Byfield 11 points in 7 games. Really good stat line. Vance, really good. 30 shots in 7 games for that guy. 7 goals in 7 games, 10 points. Lambert was good, so the top line in general really good, and then it drops off considerably, but still some depth scoring, which is good to see. Haltonen was kind of quiet. Girard and Jones were really good. Jones especially, because he was +6. And Girard was a -5 with that stat line. Damn. And then Comesso was terrible. Gustafsson was good in one game and terrible in the next. So I honestly have no idea what to make of this team going into the next round, but here we are. Well, let's see who we are facing in round 2. I was not expecting an 8-6 win after losing 6-1 and 3-1. But we're facing now the top team in the division in the second round, which is the Colorado Avalanche. They finished only a little bit above us, 49-29-4. We finished 47-27-8. Let's take a look at how they've been doing so far in the playoffs. Don't care about the regular season stats because it's not going to apply to here probably. But let's take a look at what they've done so far in this postseason compared to us. They won their first round in 5 games. They scored less goals per game than us, but we played more games, so that kind of makes sense. They were a really good defensive team in those 5 games. Jeez. Their power play was only 10%, so not much better than ours. And their penalty kill was phenomenal at 91.7%. Yeah, they were a really good team in that first round, which it makes sense. They're probably really deep. They probably still have like Nathan McKinnon, Rantanen might be still there. No, Rantanen was a free agent last year, so he probably isn't, unless he re-signed back there again, which he did not. So top line, Landeskog, McKinnon, and Val Nichushkin. Yeah, still filthy top line. A really good second line as well, solid one at least. Brock Nelson, Alex Newhook, and Kyle Palmieri. Obviously, Palmieri is pretty old at the stage. A third line of Kaut, Foudy, and Tatar. Pretty solid third line. And a fourth line of Appleton, Drury, and Corey Perry is still playing at 4 years old. Trying to go for another Stanley Cup still at this rate. He has not won a Stanley Cup since his days with Anaheim, but he's trying to find that other one here this season. Defensively is gross. Absolutely gross. Byram and Walker, Makar and Taves. I don't know why Makar's playing on the second pairing, but whatever. Valimaki and Labushkin. Yeah, that is disgusting. Disgusting. Taves has been good. Makar's been not that good so far in the playoffs. 2 points in those 5 games only, but he could definitely heat up all of a sudden. And they have Ilya Sorokin between the pipes. Wow. And Cam Talbot is a backup, which is not bad. Depth-wise, they have Attard, they have Foudy, and they have Boyd. Didn't we have Boyd like last year? Yeah, we had Boyd last year for 12 games. Well, he was like a depth guy for us. That's interesting. Yeah, that's a scary team when you have Landeskog, McKinnon, Nichushkin, Newhook. Those guys are definitely the most scary players on their forward core. They have Byram, Taves, and Makar, which is gross. And then you have Sorokin, like, yeah, that's a good team. Definitely going to be a very tough task for this young team of ours to beat them, especially after we just went to 7 games with the Dallas Stars. But anyways, let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.